Hey, Metal Shop Steve here. Continuing my year of thrash slash more emphasis on thrash album reviews. And today we're looking at the brand new album by Chemicide. I don't remember if I've reviewed them before. It's possible I have. I've at least mentioned them here and there. They're one of the newer thrashers out there. But their new album just came out this year. It's called Common Sense. So here's my overall take on this album. It's got a lot of good songs. And the one thing that I can tell you about it, and also, quick note, if you like Chemicide, this is pretty much right down the line from them. You're going to like this album. They don't do anything crazy different here from anything else they've done. And if you've never heard them, it is, make no mistake about it, it is pure thrash. But the one thing here that kind of differentiates, that I noticed musically a lot throughout this album, is that there's almost this walking of the line between thrash and hardcore. Even think a little bit of Suicidal Tendencies, if you want to go way back there. But maybe just your just kind of brutal hardcore mixed in with the thrash. So if that kind of gives you a frame of reference, that's what you're going to get here. So I actually have 5 songs marked here to talk about. First one, Lunar Eternity. Just, a really racing tempo to this one. It almost felt to me like a locomotive roaring down the tracks. It was kind of that pace, that tempo. And even the feel with like the riffiness of it, it's very chunky, and it's like it just keeps blasting forward. So that one's pretty early in the album. I want to say maybe second song on the album, and so it's a really good start. Next one up, Barred Existence. This one is heavy. It's slower. It's super chunky. It's churning. But it's an interesting addition to this album to kind of bump in there with the other, like I said, really fast thrash hardcore mix. And this is just kind of good old heavy chunky metal. I don't really know what to compare it to otherwise. Some of you will find some comparisons in here. But really solid song that's a little bit of a departure from the straight thrash or hardcore on the rest of it. Next up, I have False Democracy. And this is the one, we're starting to be about halfway through the album here with this track. And this is where I really started to pick up on that hardcore blending with this album. This is the one that really, to me, kind of hit me as, oh yeah, now I know what I'm feeling with this. It really does walk that fine line here. And then a couple of other tracks do that as well. And I think a couple in a row there, bunched up in the middle, kind of have that feel. So it is interesting. And they don't really lose the thrash element. So don't get worried if you're not like a super hardcore guy, or if you don't even really know what that means. Just think thrash and you'll be fine here with this. It's very heavy. It's very fast. And then at the end of the album, there are some nice late album tracks here. Disposable. That's the next one I have marked here. And this one, in my notes here, I always love looking back at my notes when I'm doing videos because I never really know what to expect from myself. So this one I have Face Punch. And that's what it is. So you're kind of rolling along with the rest of the album, and this one's just like, boom! And so that's Face Punch. Again, late in the album, but a lot of energy, a lot of real power and just mean here at the end of the album, which is nice because, again, as I've said before, sometimes bands will put their weaker songs or filler songs or, oh man, we have to write one more song to fill out this album. And this is not it. This is great. And then finally finishing up the album here, again, another, and I guess this is, I don't even want to say it's an eclectic album, but if you're looking for something that is not just straight thrash, but has some other elements to it, to make a really well-rounded fast metal album. Here it is. Last song is called It's an Action. And believe it or not, this one feels like a punk rock song a little bit heavier, a little bit faster. So we're not talking like Ramones type of punk rock, but something a little more sinister, a little heavier. Maybe like Bad Religion at its heaviest, but even then it's not that melodic. It is like dirty, gritty punk rock. So yeah, it's still thrash, but you'll definitely be able to understand what I'm talking about when you hear this. If you've listened to some punk rock, you're going to have a good idea of what I mean here by that sound. So that's it. Anyway, again, the album is called Common Sense by Chemicide. And if you've not heard them before, definitely check this out. I think it's even a little more eclectic than previous albums. I think they've stayed a little bit truer to the thrash sound in earlier works, but there is nothing wrong with this at all. So go check it out. Common Sense by Chemicide. Take a listen. I'll see you later.